So, imagine for a second an agile team where trust isn't built on handshakes or legal contracts, but on code, unbreakable code. Today, we're going to dive into this radical idea of trustless collaboration. It's a world where blockchain and smart contracts are literally tearing down the way we think about work. And yeah, it sounds like sci-fi, but believe it or not, it's already happening. To really get what this is all about, let's start with a story. And this isn't some vision from the distant future. This is happening right now. So, picture this. It's early 2024. There's this project called OpenDev, and they're building a super cutting-edge AI platform. But the team, well, they're not in some fancy Silicon Valley office. They're a global hive mind with developers scattered across 47 different countries, all working together, perfectly in sync.
But what's truly mind-blowing is what isn't there. There are no managers. There's no bureaucracy, no central boss calling all the shots. Instead, smart contracts are running the show, and they are incredibly efficient. Take this one engineer in São Paulo, right? The second her task was done, poof, her bonus was in her account. No waiting for approvals, no payroll department, just pure automated results.
So this isn't just some clever experiment. It's a real-life blueprint for a totally new era of work, where trust and transparency are baked right into the code that lets people collaborate on a massive global scale.
But a model like this doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's really a direct answer to a huge challenge we're facing in modern agile development, the growing problem of trust.
I mean, think about it. As our teams get more and more spread out across the globe, we have to ask some pretty tough questions. How do you really truly know the quality of work from someone you've never even met? Someone who lives in a completely different time zone, maybe from a totally different culture? And how can you be sure everyone's getting rewarded fairly for what they do?
And it gets even trickier when you start bringing multiple companies into one project. How do you create a completely bulletproof record of who decided what and when they decided it? More importantly, how do you get everyone's goals aligned when they all have different bosses with completely different agendas? See, these are the little cracks in the foundation of modern teamwork that blockchain is promising to fix.
All right, so what's in the toolkit that makes all of this possible? It really boils down to two game-changing technologies that work together perfectly: blockchain and smart contracts.
First up, we've got the blockchain. Now try not to think of it as just some complicated tech thing. It's more like a shared, unchangeable digital history book for the entire team. Every single decision, every task that gets completed, every promise that's made, it's all permanently carved into the record for everyone to see. It becomes the ultimate source of truth because you just can't tamper with it.
And this brings some serious superpowers to Agile. You get unalterable records, which means total transparency. You get decentralized consensus, so teams can actually self-organize without some boss micromanaging everything. You can automate tasks, you can tokenize incentives to create entirely new ways to reward people, and you can build a system of governance that's completely open and fair. And if the blockchain is the history book, then smart contracts are the engines that actually write it. The best way to think about them is like a digital vending machine. You just program in the rules. If this task is completed and meets our definition of done, then release the payment. It's an agreement that executes itself, automatically, flawlessly, no middleman needed.
Okay, so that's enough theory. Let's get to the good stuff. Let's see how this is actually playing out in the real world with some examples that are, well, they're pretty mind-blowing.
So, get this. There was a DeFi startup that went all in. They ran their entire agile process on smart contracts. Sprint goals were literally hard-coded into the system, with payments automatically wired the moment the work was done. And the result? A jaw-dropping 99% sprint goal achievement rate. And they did it all without a single project manager chasing people for updates.
And this revolution goes way beyond just internal teams. Take a look at vendor management. On one side, you have the old way, right? It's slow, it's manual, it's drowning in paperwork and endless negotiations. Then, on the other side, you have something like Pactum AI. It uses AI to negotiate with thousands of vendors at the same time, and then it locks in those deals as self-enforcing smart contracts right on the blockchain.
And the impact here is just staggering. A global manufacturing company that used this model saw its costs drop by 23%. Supplier satisfaction shot up 40% because, hey, they were getting paid instantly and fairly. And get this, they cut their procurement team's workload by 60%. This isn't just a small improvement, it's a total reinvention of how businesses work together. So all of this, it all leads to the ultimate expression of these ideas, the DAO. which stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. This isn't just a new org chart. It's like taking Agile's core philosophy to its absolute final conclusion. It completely challenges the whole idea of a traditional company by making decisions through token-based voting, handing out rewards automatically, and letting leaders emerge based on actual merit, not just a job title.
Now, of course, this future isn't going to arrive without a few bumps in the road. Adopting a technology this transformative means we have to be really clear-eyed about both the hurdles and the best way to move forward.
Let's be realistic. This isn't some magic wand. There are some serious hurdles. First, you need some major technical expertise to build these systems. The blockchains we have today can still struggle to handle massive scale. The legal side of things, it's still kind of the Wild West. And maybe the biggest roadblock of all? Just plain old cultural resistance from companies that aren't ready for this level of radical transparency.
So how do you even begin to navigate this new world? Well, the smart approach is to be strategic. You start small, right? Run some pilot projects just to learn the ropes. You focus on the high-value areas where transparency and automation will give you the biggest, most undeniable wins. You got to educate your teams on what this is all about. And finally, you build systems that are flexible enough to grow and change as this technology continues to evolve at lightning speed.
So where is all of this going? Well, as the technology gets more mature, it's pointing toward a future of work that looks very, very different from what we're used to today.
We're on the cusp of a future where teams from rival companies can actually collaborate on sprints together, with the blockchain acting as this perfectly impartial referee making sure everyone gets rewarded fairly. A future where AI helps DAOs make incredibly complex strategic decisions, and global talent marketplaces let anyone, anywhere contribute to the next big thing and get the credit they deserve.
When you really boil it all down, this is about way more than just a new tool for Agile teams. It's a vision for transforming the very idea of work itself, making it more open, more fair, and truly, truly global.
Look, this technology isn't some distant dream anymore. It's an emerging reality that is fundamentally changing the nature of trust and collaboration. So the question I'll leave you with is a simple one. Work is changing. Is your team ready?